Yes, it is I. I have returned. And we will begin momentarily. Please hold. And how are thee today? Did you have a good day? I hope you did. Okay, let's get started. Go away. Whoop. And whoop. Hello, how is everyone? Thank you so much for joining me again. It's Wednesday, middle of the week. We're almost there. And today we are going to keep working on the text-to-speech project. We had a stumble last session this Monday, but good news. I figured it out. And it was a combination of me being a dumbass and you guys being geniuses. So I was more powerful in the end. So because I realized that I was doing something really, really dumb, but I figured it out and now it's working. And I'll show you what I did to solve it and what was the problem. Let me just double check all the connections here. Everything is good. All the lights are green. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Well, YouTube is crapping itself a little bit, but that's all right. Okay. Back to chat. Also, if based on a suggestion that I had this Monday, now you can chat with me via Discord. So if you join me on Discord, you can go on my Discord server, and now there is a channel called live stream chat, and I have it right here in front of me. So if you're comfortable chatting with me on Discord, then I can now see your messages there. So now I have YouTube, Twitch, and Discord, just so you know. And if you want to know the link to Discord, I believe it's on the description of this video. If it's not, let me know. And on Twitch, I can just do this. And now you have it there. I'm going to pin it in chat. There you go. Pin message for the reminder of this. There you go. All right. So what happened? What happened? Let me show you. I'm going to open this, not this. Let me go back to create ad. This is now working. And it's working as you see it right there. All right. Is it too small? I don't think it is. Let me check. No, it has good size. So first thing that I noticed is that you cannot, and actually let me log in first so that we can see what is happening at the moment. Sample.com. Why is it expired already? Good, nice. Now, first problem. Apparently, if you try to add the curly brackets from blade templates, like basically an echo from PHP or any PHP expression here, like for example, I'm just going to say if true. No, actually, I remember we were doing something like errors as, and here was another problem, add copy, something like that. We were doing this, and yeah, we were doing a ternary operator to render a piece of text so that would be a parameter that was going into the component. Problem is that if you do this, basically the blade template doesn't work. The blade component doesn't work. It disappears, basically. It doesn't render. I don't know why exactly, but that's one of the problems that I was having, in that you cannot put double curly brackets in the components tag like I'm doing right now. So this you cannot do on blade components. So as soon as you do that and remove it, then it comes back up. But then how do you do the border? Well, it was very simple. In the component itself, all I needed to do is use attributes. So when you use attributes, all of the attributes in the attribute bag are displayed. And I only need to conditionally render a few of them. And that conditional render is made with the class method and an array, just like the class directive in Blade, but you can use it directly from the attributes bag. So all I did was load the ones that I need by default, which are all of those. And then I only need to load this set of classes for when I have the errors, for when this component has errors. Notice the variable name. I'll explain that in a moment. And then I only need to load the other border, the regular border, when the field has no errors. Therefore, errors missing returns true. Now, usually, if you're not doing this inside of a blade component, what you would regularly do is, instead of using a parameter, you will use a string in the field name the field name as it is defined in the component's property, right? So add copy is a component's property in Livewire. The problem that I was having also is that I was using add copy, but that would assume that add copy is a property on create add. But since we are using a form component, that means that this property is not in the add component form, in the add, how is it called? Create add component, but in the form, in the add form component. Therefore, and remember that that component is defined as a property called form in this component templates. So what you do is just say form add copy. That way we actually get whether this property has errors or not, because we are defining that property in the form component, not the Livewire component. Does that make sense? Sorry. So yeah, I was doing, I think I attempted this the last time on Monday, but because I wasn't using form dot, I wasn't getting any results and I wasn't getting the border. Also, this doesn't take precedence. If you put borders in the first item in this class, in the default classes, that one is going to take precedence over these two. So you cannot include the same or a different border here or a default border on the first element of this array. You have to pick and choose whether to show it or not. That was another problem. Now, because this is a Blade template, I would like to use it in different places. So not everywhere is going to have the same name. So this form add copy is going to change depending on which component I use this Blade, depending on which Livewire component I use this Blade template, this input. So I can't just hard code the name in the call of error has. That's why I use a PHP snippet of code here to use attributes where starts with wire model, and then this statement here is going to return me an attributes. What's the name of the class? Basically a class that represents the attributes bag, an attributes bag that is filtered by this condition. So it only has, in this case, is going to have only one attribute that starts with wire model. And therefore I can just do first on that, and that is going to give me the first key of those attributes. In this case, it's going to return a string with the value of form dot add copy, because that's where I'm using it currently. So I put that in a variable, and then I pass it into the error has method and the errors missing method. And that's basically it. Now, if we go back and I try to push this without any information, now we have a border and it works perfectly. Now, I was thinking about, we probably don't want to make the audio file required because that's not something the user is going to control, only the add copy. The file for the add copy is created or generated dynamically when you either click play or submit the form. So it doesn't make sense to have it as a required field. Where's the form? Here. So we're not going to have the audio file as required here, and therefore we probably want to remove it from the messages. No, that's fine. So add copy, business type, radio station service field, radio station service date, and you must select at least one time slot. That's fine. So now that we know how to create a border around the field, let's replicate that on the rest of the inputs that we have here, starting with the service and then radio station. I think the others are not going to need a border because they are either radio inputs or checkboxes. So yeah, let's do that. The same thing that we did here. Let's replicate that on these three dropdowns. And because we are using Blade templates, that means that we just have to do it once and it's going to work on all three. So we're going to work on the select drop down here. First thing I want to do is to create the name of, or extract the name or the path for this property, which I will use to extract the error, that to check for errors later. So we're going to do that with PHP and PHP. And let's just set name to attributes. Where starts with wire model first. All right, now on this select, let me bring this down here and bring this down here. Actually, just stay there. Instead of merge, we're going to use class. And we can remove this key from here. These are all going to be the default ones except for the border. We're going to take those down in a second. First, let me just do this. And that. Okay, that's better. Now, does this have... That's what I need. So this one needs a comma at the end. Here we go. Now, or when it has an error, we're going to say border red. It was 600 if I'm not mistaken. And then dark border red 400. And only display this if errors has name. And finally, we're going to display the default borders, which are going to be this ones. You know what I should do? Feel my hands still a little cramped. I should warm up because I feel like I can type. My hand is a little cramped. Maybe I should warm up a little. Let me do that first and then we will do it. In this case, this will be for errors missing name. Let's give this a try. Go back to create add. Just double checking here. First one is business type. We have wire model. So that means it should work. I don't know why I never saw this when working with that copy. Had to be form dot. I don't know what happened. Define variable what? Oh, that's just autosave. No, what? I don't know what's happening with my this screen, but I can't. It doesn't even mark the place of the error. Line 8. Attributes class. What am I doing wrong here? Am I not seeing something? Name attributes where starts with wire model first. Does it look different somehow? Why does it look different? All right, copy, paste. No, it's the freaking same. Oh, I see it now. Freaking why? I don't know where that came from. I think it's VS Code. Somehow when I do this, if I do that, instead of just auto completing the variable, it adds an extra $sign at the beginning. Gotta figure out why that is. All right, there you go. And oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. There you go. And now all of them have it because we're using components. The beauty of components. So now I can just choose service like that. Choose radio station. Maybe I should also color the ring because once I click on it, I should keep the color, maybe. Radio station. This one too. Yeah, I should color the ring as well. The focus ring. Sorry. Let's bring all of these focus variables. You know what? Give me a second. Really, what I want to do first is maybe a small warm up because my little fingers are cramped. So if you indulge me for a second, I'm gonna do a warm up real quick. I like to use monkey type because this just gives me something I can type and warm up my fingers. See? Sometimes it's just maybe my keyboard is not in the right position. Child. Who? Oh, think. Oh, that was bad. Well, maybe not as much. I usually average around 40, 42 words per minute. Let me do that again. Again. Oh my God. Really? Wow. Ah, almost get it. At least I was faster. You see how there is like a ghost thingy that goes behind me and ahead of me sometimes? Well, I did better that time. Okay, one more time and then we continue. Whew. Why am I... Come on. I cheated. All right. This here is so bad. But I did at least a little better. So I think that's enough. All right, so all of the focus attributes, let's bring this focus border, dark focus border, focus ring, dark focus ring, and let's grab all of those and put them here. So those will be the defaults. And then for when it has errors, really? You're gonna do that? Can I do paste? Okay, there you go. So instead of indigo 600, this will be the error has. So this will be red 400 for dark mode and that. This would be red 600. Same for the focus border. No, that's 600. All right, let's give it a try. So boom. Boom. Okay. So now if I click on it, it's still red. Awesome. Cool. Okay, what's next? After this, I think what I should do is bring back the text-to-speech part so that I can generate a file name that is going to go into the ad record. The play part, that's already there. In fact, let's go and review that real quick. We have this wire click preview on that play button. That's in the create ad component. But all of that is commented out for now. Let's actually uncomment it and see if it's still working and we haven't broken anything. So we take this form audio file, if that is present. Oh, by the way, this changed. We are now using snake case. So file name, this form audio file. If it is there, if not, then create one using a UUID toString, appending the .mp3 at the end. And then setting that to the form property. Then we use an HTTP sync to create a file automatically for us from the response using the file name, creating that on storage. That file path, I think, is different. No, it's all right. Because if we use public path, it's going to put it actually in the public folder in public storage, which is a duplicate of resources of storage app public. There's already a file there. I'm gonna delete that just in case. Okay, so create the file with the OpenAI secret token, making a post request to this endpoint using text-to-speech 1 as the model, using the form and copy this change as well, and using the alloy voice. So an exception is if something happens. This I might want to throw as an error on the form, but we'll do that later. Then we check if it's playing. This is already working. We might want to remove this slip. We don't need that anymore. All right, good. Let's try that. See if it's still working. This should still be working, hopefully. Play. All right, that generated a file name. Now, the other thing that I want to do is kind of do the same thing, but when you click review order, because before creating the ad, I need a file name. So maybe you didn't even check the audio of this for this ad. You just went ahead and click review order. Without clicking play. So that's a possibility. So I need to make the same post request to OpenAI. generate a file name, store it before creating the ad. And on that note, by the way, I think I mentioned before that I wanted to clean up this component because it's getting super big. This updated form radio station, updated form service ID, updated form schedule ad, all of those are kind of big, and I really don't want this component to be so bloated. So I think I want to break down this logic into separate pieces or put it in different places. One idea that I had, and I think I had this for maybe last week, but I didn't end up implementing it, was the idea of using traits. Maybe I can just create one trait called updates radio station and just move that over there, move this function over there, and maybe another trait for updates service ID or updates service. No, wait. So when you update the form radio station, then you get a list of services. Yeah, that's that. So update services would have this. And then when you select a service, you get, so when you select a radio station, you get services. When you select a service, you get dates. And when we select dates, you get time slots. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 3 different traits that will take care of updating the components lists for services, dates, and time slots. And I think that will help keep this component clean. So let's do that before moving on. I want to see these components code a bit cleaner. And on that, maybe we can delete this. We're not using paddle here anymore. Is there an artisan command for traits? Let's see, PHP artisan make trait. Yes, there is one. So the first one I want is for when you select a radio station. So updates services. Maybe something like that. Let me see how it looks. So that creates it directly on the app folder. I don't know if I like that. Let me undo that real quick. And instead, let's put it inside a traits folder. Better yet, well, maybe not. I thought maybe we could put it inside Livewire traits, but this doesn't really, it's not really a Livewire thing. So I think this would be fine. So now we have a traits folder with the updates services. So what I think we can do is head over to create ad. and just take this whole form method here. Maybe the naming not clear enough. Come on, dude. Okay. Hmm. So that's not it. There you go. The registry from NeoVim and from Vim Motions, it's what takes me out of it the most, to be honest. Hi, system. Hi from Portugal. How you doing, man? Thank you so much for joining me all the way from Portugal. Wow, that's so cool. Thank you. Thank you for being here. You're awesome, dude. So yeah, I gotta. Maybe I don't like the updates services name. Maybe something like update services from radio station. Uh, nah, let's leave it like that. No, I don't know. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. I think I like that better. Update services list. All right. So now if I go to create ad, all the way to the top, and I say use updates services list. Let's see if it works. Oh, I did it. Okay. Have to change the file name too. How about now? Good. So that means that this should still work, and it doesn't. Class app traits radio station not found. Okay, so a bunch of imports are now, well, not a bunch, just this one. Run that again. Radio station, boom, now it works. Let's go back to create ad. That means that we probably have one import that we are not using. Well, we are still using it somewhere else. Let's keep going. So that's one. Now let's move this updated form service ID, which this would be like another trait called updates date list or schedule list. Updates radio schedule. Yeah, something like that. I think I like that. PHP artisan. updates radio schedule list. Oh, come on. That sucks. That sucks. Delete that. Why did you put a trait inside of a trait? Oh, that okay. So if there is a traits folder, that means that I don't have to put it in. Interesting. Make trait updates radio station radio schedule list. See, if there is a traits folder in the if there is a traits folder inside app, this command uses that by default. If there is no traits folder, that command creates a trait inside the app folder by default. Interesting. All right. So now we have radio schedule list. So now it's just a matter of taking this. What if I do that? There you go. Delete. Not this one. Get over here, paste, delete that. Let's review all of the imports because obviously we're missing a bunch. Carbon period is 1. Carbon, well, we need support. We need radio station. Anyone else? No? Are we good? Okay. So that's saved. Let's go back to the component and delete that extra line. Go all the way up and add another use with updates radio schedule list. Saved. Let's give it a try. Radio station. Boom. Service. Boom. Now we just need the time slots. Following the same convention, let's call this updates time slot list. All right, now let's go to that method, which is called updated. No, it's called updates something. Updated form schedule add. Is that what I'm looking for? Yes, updated form schedule add is what I need. So visual line, go back and delete. Open update. What did I call it? Time slot list. Paste that, delete the comment. And let's bring in all of the classes. Carbon, that's 1. Radio station. Service. App model service. Anyone else? Carbon period. Here. Carbon period. And that's all of them. All right. Back to the create add component, delete that extra line, give back a few. And let's add updates, time slot list. I wonder if I should create another trait for just this part over here. Just because I know that I have to use it more than once. I'll have to use it here, and also I have to use it when I submit the form. So I probably need to abstract that to another trait. Maybe. Or maybe not that trait, maybe just a function here. But at least this is just 100 lines of code, which is a good improvement. Remove some of the classes that we're not using and give this a try again. Service, radio station, dates, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let's take this section out to, well, do I need to, let me think. Yeah, let's put it in another function here. On audio and then store, render. Add another method here. How do we call it? What? Just text to speech. And I should probably just take in the file name and yeah. Wait. Yeah, I think so. So let's take in the message and also file name. And let's go back here and let's take this part. Yoink. 41 down. Paste. Instead of this form add copy, this would be message. So we make a request using the file name, put it in storage using the message, and that should be it. All right, let's go up. Let's use that function, replacing all of this. Be this, text to speech, this, form, add copy, and file name. Let's remove, well, I'm gonna keep it there. Maybe I want to disable this at some point. So yeah. Okay, so now that I have this, the next step would be to go to the store function here. Before I even go to the form store method, which if you remember, basically what's happening here. Oh, No, never. Huh? Okay, so yeah, I'm doing the validate here. That confused me. That kind of threw me off for a minute. I don't like that. So I saw that and I said, where is the validation? It took me a second to see it inside the create. So I have a choice to make. Do I keep it like that, knowing that it might trip me off from time to time by seeing it like that? Or I go back to the more conventional notation where I call validate and then call create with all of the fields manually put in. This is why I want to go back to the second option. And it's basically just code can be so pretty. Code can be pretty and efficient and short, but if it's not readable, if it throws you off, if when you see it you don't get it at once, then you might want to, even if it's a bit larger, you might want to make it more readable. So always go for readability first, then efficiency. Or maybe not efficiency. Always go for readability over prettiness, if that's a word. So in this case, I'm going to move from this version to the more verbose version where I can see it all at once. So even though it's really pretty like this, I'm going to move this here. And then on the create, I'm going to verbosely put in all of the fields, starting with add copy. This add copy, which is the property that is all the way over here, right? And I'm going to do that for every single one. Add copy, and then it's I'm going to do it in the same order that they appear on the form. So add copy, business type ID, business type, and then radio station, was it? Yeah. Business type, radio station ID, this radio station ID. And you know why I like this better, even though the other version was a lot prettier and concise and like really, really short and efficient to write. You always have to think about you're not the only one will be. Let me see if I can put this in a different way. Always think about your code as if someone else is going to read it, not just you, because you may know what you're writing and what it does, but if someone else comes in and reads your code and doesn't get it at once, then that's a problem. So always think about you as another person reading your own code, if that makes sense. So radio station ID, service ID, and then date. All So the next field is going to be the audio file. Now I'm going to assume that that audio file is already populated. But it's my responsibility to make sure that that's the case, and that is going to happen before I even call this store method in the forms component. You know what I remember? I just remember that there was another problem. I think I had a note here. Yes, we still need to check the foreign key validation, which was not really working last time. I'm going to do that next. Audio file. What else? Right, now I need to create all of these selected time slots. I'm trying to think if there is a good way to do this. Let's head over to the documentation, quickly look for as many, or just relationships. Eloquent relationships. Querying, aggregating, eager loading, inserting. The save method is for comment, new comment, post, find, comments, save. Know that we did not access the comments relationship as a dynamic property. Yes, I know. Oh, save many. This is what I wanted. I don't know. Well, this takes in an array. So we already have an array here with a bunch of times. And we also know that time slots is a model, if I can find it. So time slot is just a model with one column called time. And it also has a relationship to add as a belongs to. So what I think I can do to make this, I have to go over all of the selected time slots, create a new time slot model, and then assign it to the add that I just created. And I think the way that I'm going to do this, see if it's a good idea, is to go over that array, create an array out of that with just new time slot using the value from the array, and then pass that array to add, pass that array to the time slots, save many. Let's see if that works. Although I should make sure that that whole operation, the creating the add and then creating all of the time slots, all of that should be inside a database transaction, because if I fail to create one of the time slots, I should not have an add. So let's go to create add real quick. No, actually that is in add form here. I believe it was using support facades DB transaction. Yes. And then this takes in a callback, which we can use function. Then we can move all of this in here and then continue working. So I'm going to, oh, dang it. This was nice up until the point where I need the add record. See how I'm using auth user ads and then create? That was so that I didn't have to manually put in the user ID. But now I think I have to, because I really want that add record back so that I can access the add time slots relationship to use save many. So out of convenience, I'm going to do, instead of auth user, actually instead of all of this, I'm just going to say add models, add, create. And that allows me to say add equals add create. Okay, so now I can say for each, not that, for each, this would be this selected time slots as, I don't need a key value, this is just values. Instead of value, let's just call it time. Before that, I'm going to need an array of time slots. Time slots. Something like that. And let's say time slots equals new times, no, actually time slot create. No. New. Okay. New time slot. Then the attributes in this case is just time, was it? Yes. Ooh, time, like that. All right. So for every selected time slot, I'm just putting that in an array of newly created models, time slot models. And then at the end, I can say add, save many. Wait, no, add. What was it? What was the relationship? Add user, business type, services, radio station, time slots. Time slots, save many. Time slots. We double check with the documentation. Yep. Relationship name with parentheses. Save many. Pass an array of newly created models. And take note, this time slot table has a foreign ID called add ID. By using add many or save many, every time the new time slot is saved and assigned to the add, that add ID record is populated automatically. So that's a neat feature from Laravel. All right. Okay, so I have the store functionality. This will create an ad. This will create the ad with all of the time slots. Now I just need to make sure that this audio file is present. Back to the create ad component in the store method. I'm going to use this section over here. Yoink. And I'm going to put it down here. So basically, once I'm ready to store the new ad, first check that the audio file exists, or if we have a value for the audio file. If we do, we put that in the file name. Do we need to do that though? If we get to this point and there is no value there, I can probably just do that without. Yeah, I probably should just check for the inverse in this case. If there is no value for the audio file, then just create one. Okay, let me read this out loud. Just rubber banding, not rubber banding, rubber. What is it? Rubber ducking. Okay, so when I click the review button at the end to store the ad, first, is there a value for the audio file? If there is not, then create a new one. Because that means that I did not hit the play button. If I hit the play button at some point, that means that this has a value. The only reason I did that check in the first place was because I can click that play button many times, and I don't want to generate a new file name every time I do. If I click it the first time and I had a file name already, then just use that file name every time you click the play button. That play button is going to go to OpenAI, get the text-to-speech file, and then update the same file over and over again as many times as you click it. But in this case, I've already decided to save. So if there is no audio file, then create a new one using a UUID identifier. I don't know if that's redundant. And then set that. You can probably compress this to a single line, to be honest. So create that audio file name using UUID, and down here, instead of using file name, we can just use this form audio file. And then text to speech is going to use that audio file name In the add copy, generate a new file, and then we can go and store the record. Sounds about right. Now, just for testing purposes, I am going to redirect the user to the dashboard. In reality, just after we finish this, we are going to start working on the review page, which is going to have the paddle checkout button. But for now, I just want to make sure that I can redirect out of this page into another. Just want to refresh my mind about redirects in Livewire. I think it's the same methodology. Yeah, well, kind of. Sorry. So I have to use redirect route. Or I can use another component. But in this case, I don't have a full page component for the dashboard. So I'm going to use redirect route for now. So once I do the store, once this store is complete, I do this redirect route, and let's go to dashboard. Just for now. All right, here we go. This is not a drill. We're ready to go and create an ad. This is an actual ad. I'm not going to click play. Well, I'm going to refresh first and foremost. No, that's fine. This is an actual ad copy. Radio station. Before I do this, hold on. Let me go back here and make sure that the public storage folder is empty. Radio station, text to speech, this date, and then 1, 2, 3 times. Review order. Oh, so close. Integrity constraint violation. What happened? Oh, the user ID. I forgot about the user ID. Okay, not a bad error. Not a bad error. I would say that. All right, let's go back to add form. User ID. Let's try that again. Did it create a file? I'm curious. It did. It shouldn't have. Well, maybe it should have. Let me think. Yeah, that's a problem, I think. Because we have a file for a record that was not created. Let me check the logic here. You know what I should do? What if I move this over here? All I need to create the ad is the audio file name. The file that comes out of that should be created after the record has been it's in the database. We could but then if the text-to-speech service fails for some reason, there's going to be an exception and we are going to have a record with an invalid file. Okay, let's think about that in a moment. Maybe we can just do something in this section here. If it failed, maybe we could have the pass in the record from the database. And if this fails, we just delete it. It's an extra SQL query, but might be worth it. Okay. Let's delete this file for now. And give it another go. Business type. Radio station, service, date. Boom, boom, boom. Review order. What do you mean? Time to available property. Didn't I? Oh, it's not there. Okay, so I thought it was. What are you doing? I thought it was in the mass assignment in the fillable array because I saw an array, but now that I think about it, what I saw was the casts array. Rats. Public fillable time. But now, if I'm not mistaken, we should not have a new file. And we don't. That's good. All right, one more time. Service, radio station, text to speech, date, 1, 2, 3. Boom. Yay, it worked. Now we just need to check the database. Let's head over to Tinkerwell. Is this the one? Yes. Or it should be one more. And there is user ID, radio station ID, service ID, business type, schedule ad, which was for today. This is yet again an actual ad copy. The audio file, it's right there, ends with F0B. Let's check that file real quick. Cool beans. So that's working. And Ed Bordo, my 2 cents, I throw TTS creation into a job that can keep failing for however long it pleases. Only once the TTS succeeds, it would fill out the add audio file column. This way, you have an ad record created without betting on text-to-speech service being online and ready and responding in a timely manner. That's a great idea, my friend. Also, welcome. Hi, how you doing? Thank you for being here. I hope you're following me on Twitch because I stream 3 days a week at the same time. Morning? Oh, it's morning to you, and it's evening for me. You know what? That's not a bad idea, actually. Let me just good old pen and paper. Come back here. I'm gonna make a note because that is worthy of a feature. And we're going to do that next week. So text to speech as a job. Now, do I have the file name as nullable? Let me check. Not. Well, should make it nullable then. How about that? Jesus. Whoa. Almost died. So yeah. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Thank you. Let me think. How about now that we can create records, we should then we should move on to the review page. How do we want to create this? Should be really simple at the beginning. So all I want is a page with total, maybe a summary of what you're paying for, how many time slots, what's the total. So maybe something that the same thing that we saw on at the very end of the form, and the paddle checkout button. So let's start with that. Oh, went one too far. Okay. Pages, create ad. Create a checkout page. I'm going to make a Livewire component. This should go into the pages folder. And we're going to call it checkout. Oh no, they're not wireless at all, my friend. That is actually a great idea. Unless it's a national secret. What is the project? No national secret. Give me an elevator pitch, only if you want, no pressure. Hey, don't worry, man. That's what I'm here for. Always happy to share. So what I'm doing is there is a service in my country It's an actual web page. It's called mianuncio.cr. I live in Costa Rica, by the way. And basically, the purpose of the website is you can go in and you can put in a request for an ad where you select what kind of service are you selling. You put in your ad copy and then select a radio station and pretty much all that we're doing right now. But the difference between the project and this one, the difference between this page and my project is that they have professional voiceover actors or voiceover people that will record your ad and then put it on a radio station based on your request. So I thought, why don't we make it worse? Instead of using a professional voiceover, we can just use text to speech and charge the same price. So that's what we're doing. Is that good? Yeah. Basically, this is just, in summary, I know I joke, but this is like, I do this all the time. In fact, we have 2 projects going on right now. This one is basically just to use as an example to help people to teach people or help people learn more about Laravel and the Laravel ecosystem. In this case, it's just Laravel with Livewire. The previous project was also Livewire. It was a Kanban board using only Livewire. I've done other projects with Filament as well. So I do this all the time. Every time I finish a project, it's just like a teaching experience, and then I move on to another teaching experience. On Fridays, I'm trying to learn inertia with React because I know nothing about React and I wanted to learn about that. So I'm creating a small clone of the Lara Jobs website as a way of teaching myself inertia and React, and also maybe help other people learn that as well. Let's see. So we have a component now. We don't. Now we do. First thing I need to do is give that page a content. So using the create ad as a base, I'm going to use this layout. Put it here. And then modify this checkout template and just use the dashboard for now. Dashboard, yes, dashboard, and just grab, actually, no, yeah. You just grab this here, yoink it. Let's go to checkout again. And paste it here. Fix indentation. Save it. This would be checkout. Something like that. Now we need a route. Sure, creating a worse copy of a live project to learn is as good as an excuse as any. Have used that myself on countless occasions, albeit I prefer to make things for me, not clones of semi-widely known apps. Yeah, that's a valid, as long as you give yourself something to do as a teaching method, that's completely valid. Can be a clone, can be something completely new, just worse. But yeah, that's the best teaching method. Give yourself a project and don't use a tutorial unless strictly necessary. route get. Let's call it ads checkout. And use the checkout page class. We're going to put this behind authentication. Then call it checkout. All right. Let's visit that page and see how it looks. Yeah, tutorials are a no-go, as is RTFM. What is RTFM? As any decent programmer, I'd rather soak over 5 lines of code for hours than... What is RTFM stand for? Read the freaking manual. Yes, yes, yes. That was funny. RTFM, read the freaking manual. That's checkout. What? It's the same one. What are you talking about? Layouts app? Layouts app. Oh. Wait. What did I do wrong? Slot header, py, yeah. What do you mean? Livewire page component layouts view not found. Oh, okay. What's going on? Why do you look so ugly all of a sudden? Oh, because, okay. When I closed it, I also closed the Vite server. Dude, come on. It's the same layout. I know. I know. At least this one does give me an error. You know what the problem is? You have to import the layout function or the layout attribute. At least this one squawks about it. I know that when you do it with the on attribute for events, that one just doesn't say anything. The Jit, hey my friend, how you doing? Hello, hello. How are you doing? I'm doing great. How about you? How you doing? For TTS, which service you are using? I'm using OpenAI's text to speech. In fact, let me show you the place. So I'm using OpenAI's API version 1 audio speech, and I'm using TTS1 as the model. There you go. Now you work. For everyone who doesn't know, imports are my Achilles heel. I always forget about them. Yes, you are right, Eduardo. You will see me missing imports over and over again. You think I would learn, but you'd be wrong. So now we have the view. Like I said, I'm going to... Why does it says chat disconnected? What's going on with you, YouTube? What is going on with you? Don't be weird. Don't be weird. You okay? Yes, you're alive. Okay, thank you. Is the chat that is disconnected? Why? I don't know. Oh, it's good. Oh, OpenAI is good, but it will be better if you make this API set in environment. Wait, what? Hold on. Let me read this. Use a better editor. How dare you? How dare you? Visual Studio Code. Don't blame the editor. It's a problem between the monitor and the chair. I have to be a better programmer. No, but really, the editor should warn me about it. I'm hoping that a lot of those issues are going to go away once the official Visual Studio Code plugin for Laravel comes out this month. But I'm not going to use anything else. I don't like Vim. JetBrains is too expensive. Oh, come on, don't crap on that. Visual Studio Code is the most popular free editor out there. I know there are other options, but if you don't want to pay for a subscription, Visual Studio Code is perfectly fine. OpenAI is good, but it will be better if you make this API set in environment so any compatible will work. Any compatible TTS, you mean? So make this as an API? Yeah, maybe. Although this is very much very much an exercise on OpenAI, so I don't think I want to make it as broadly available as you know, any OpenAI, any text-to-speech compatible API in the world. So yeah, I think I'm gonna keep it like just on that lane. Alrighty then. Parlor TTS self-hosted. I think I heard of that one. I do like the I do like the quality of the text to speech, like the audio quality of OpenAI's. Is I think I tried a couple of others, but they sounded way too rigid. Like, yeah. Just saying that there are superior options. Oh, I'm sure there are. And price for JetBrains PHP Storm product is well worth it. Yeah, if you have the money, it's totally fine if you want to pay for it. At least in my humblest opinion, it made me a better developer, much faster at my job. Call me a fanboy if you want. I won't argue. I won't either because I have used VS Code for a long, 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 long time. So yeah, uh, I'm not gonna say it made me a better developer or a worse developer by using VS Code. I will say that is the one that I feel most comfortable with, and therefore, if I wanted to change for another one, it will take me some time to get as comfortable as I am with this one, and I don't see myself spending on a subscription when I can just keep using this one. So yeah, it's a matter of taste in this case. I am thinking to get PHP Storm and Laravel idea. Well, that is like I said, if you have the means and you can go for it, and you feel like that's is going to help you in your development endeavors, then totally fine. It's I'm not saying don't go for PHP Storm. I'm not saying PHP Storm is not worth it. It totally is. But at the end of the day, whether you use PHP Storm, whether you use VS Code, whether you use, I don't know, Vim, or whatever editor you use, that is just the tool for you to be comfortable and efficient at your work. Move through a fair few IDEs, eventually landing on PHP Storm for several years now. That's great. PHP Storm, yeah. So much convenience at my fingertips. Yeah, I understand. Let's see if I can, for now, let's see if I can quickly display a summary and a total and just display the button on this page. And next week we will work on the all of the code hooks and updating database when a transaction completes on paddle, etc., etc. So that'll be a good idea. Oh, you're in both places. Laravel idea is nice to have, but in my opinion, fully not necessary. Well, if you're working on Laravel, it is very convenient. Learn the Laravel way of doing things, and you will never need the majority of the features of Laravel idea. There is a point in that, although you've seen how I made some my mistakes. Those mistakes will probably be less frequent of importing classes and stuff like that by using the Laravel idea plugin. I am, like I said, not gonna pay for a subscription right now. It's not on my wish list, so I'm not gonna use the IDE. I just have to be careful. But therein, in being careful and learning from your mistakes, is the value of sometimes not using a plugin to not 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 allowing you to make mistakes is not allowing you to learn sometimes. But yeah, again, it's a matter of, do you want the convenience, or do you want like raw dogging it and just making mistakes over and over again? I've been working with Laravel for 5 years. There is only one feature from Laravel ID I'd like to have, but not enough to pay the exorbitant price. Or is Laravel idea paid? Or is I didn't know there was a paid plugin. I thought that you only paid for the PHP. for the, what was it? PHP Storm subscription. Laravel idea, I think it was a plugin that comes with it. Is it paid? Ah, I didn't know that. How much is it for that? Not IDE, idea. Oh, it's a 550 for the first year. This is monthly. Okay, so it's $5 for the first year, and then it goes down in price as years go by for personal use. Oh, okay. So it's double if you are an organization. Got it. Got it. So first $10, then $8, and then $6. Well, it's not that expensive. How much is it for PHP Storm? Oh, it comes bundled. So the most of the price in this comes from PHP Storm, and that's the heavier leaning price. Laravel idea itself is not that big of an investment, like yearly, but PHP Storm itself, that's $250 for the first year. Is this yearly billing? How about monthly? 25. So in total, if you're paying monthly, you will pay 25 plus for organizations. So for an organization, you would pay 10 plus 24, so $35 maybe a month for the plugin and PHP Storm. Yeah, no, but yeah, obviously for personal use it's a lot cheaper. But then again, if you're using the personal license, if you make something that you intend to like publish or charge money for, then yeah, you have to switch to the organization. So I'm going for the higher price just to compare. On Really Hot Fixed, hi again. How you doing, man? Click for individual use. Yeah. How much is that? Like 24. Yeah, that's quite the, like I said, most of the price in this case comes from PHP Storm. Personal use, that's $5. Unless you are an organization. Well, does the being on an okay, so let me see if I get this straight. If you get the personal license, you are allowed to monetize your products. Is that the case? Because I use the personal license when my job pays for it, then I use the organization. That makes sense. Either way, Laravel idea not worth half of what PHP Storm costs. Never will be. Well, that's subjective, to be honest. Yes, you can do freelance. Oh, I see. Okay, so it's not. Okay, I understand. You can sell code with personal license. Got it. Yeah, like I said, if I had the money, I would go for it. I'm gonna stay on my VS Code cocoon for a while, for now. But it's good to know. It's good to know. It's good to know you have options. No, it's okay, man. We all have opinions. We all like what we like. I mean, it's not it's good to share opinions and have discussions about this. It's not that we're fighting over it. It's just saying, I like this. This is what I use. It's worth for me. You're doing the same thing. That's it. Use whatever is best for you. That's the point. I just hope. Oh, I don't know what exactly you guys were talking about. No, we were the conversation arised of based on we were just talking about IDEs. I use VS Code and I make mistakes from imports all the time. You have seen me doing that before, and the discussion arose of whether or not that would be the case if I were using a better IDE. So yeah, that's where all the discussion started from. But I would like you said, just use whatever is best for you. I've seen other developers that doesn't use either, and they are incredibly efficient just using Vim or NeoVim, and that's fine. I mean, that's what works for them, and I could never do it. I don't see myself doing it. It's like a lot of extra work. But if that's what works for some people, then that's completely fine. If not, you can go for VS Code as a free option. If you have the means, you can go for JetBrains or PHP Storm or whatever floats your boat. And now you have autosave on. Exactly. I don't make that mistake anymore. I still find myself saving the files just out of muscle memory. TLDR, VS Code is due. Okay, fine. VS Code did not save sudo from a missing import, which any decent IDE would have. That's correct. Maybe I'm just missing some configuration that will help me, and that's on me. I'm guessing there is an option for me to do that. I just haven't got around to do that because I'm a little lazy about that. What was I doing? Lost my footing. So yeah, I was going to do this page, but I think now that we have 2 hours on the dot, I think maybe we can make a whole chunky session on just the checkout page. Adding a review, adding a summary of all the things you're paying for, using the paddle button, and then including the webhooks so that when you finish paying, all of the database tables for your subscription, it's not subscription, but just all the table structures on the local database get updated once you have successfully paid for something. So yeah, that'll be worth a 2-hour session. Anything that we do from here on is not going to be completed. So let's make a cut right there. But yeah, we're gonna end it here. Thank you so much for everyone who joined me. Thank you to Jeet, Eduardo for your input and conversation. Always appreciate the opinions of others. Unruly Hotfixer, thank you for showing up again. And on this side, who else? Hi Systems from Portugal. Eduardo, thank you so much for the follow, my friend. You're awesome. Thank you. And yeah, as always, if you found any of this helpful or entertaining, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitch like Eduardo just did if you are not doing so already. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. If you're on Twitch, stand by. We're going to find someone to raid. That's always fun. Let's see who is on today. Put in some music as we go away. Let's see. Anyone fun? Oh, you're gonna like this. We're going to go see some ferrets. They're out and about. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye. Why are you not working? Come on. There you go. Okay, bye.